As we reach Season 4 of Chicago PD, we're not quite halfway through the show's 11 seasons, but it's clear that the darker tones are beginning to take shape and will continue to intensify in the seasons ahead. I was genuinely surprised by who stayed and who left by the end of this season, which marked a pivotal shift in the series. After Season 4, the storylines became increasingly intense, and the character developments took some unexpected turns. Some characters evolved in ways that were compelling, while others grew in directions I didn't anticipate. Hello, and welcome to Timeless New York City. I'm Lena, and I'll be your guide as I take you along on my first-time journey through Chicago PD, covering all the seasons and those epic crossover events. I'll be sharing my thoughts and reactions, season by season. So, grab your favorite snack, preferably one that pairs perfectly with high-stakes drama, and settle in. We're diving straight into the gritty, action-packed world of Chicago PD. If you're enjoying the ride, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because there's plenty more excitement and chaos ahead. In Chicago PD Season 4, the overarching theme revolves around the increasing tension between the pursuit of justice and the personal sacrifices each member of the intelligence unit faces. Voight continues to lead his team with a hard-edged, vigilant approach, especially after the emotional toll of his son's death. His methods, which often toe the line between right and wrong, become a central point of contention within the unit. Voight's internal struggle to maintain his authority while grappling with the darker side of his methods is emphasized through his interactions with Lindsay and the rest of his team. Season 4 brings out the moral complexities of law enforcement, showcasing how Voight's decisions impact his relationships and the functioning of the team. Another major focus of the season is Erin Lindsay's personal growth as she confronts the deep-seated issues stemming from her troubled upbringing. Her relationship with her estranged father and the constant tug-of-war between her mother, Bunny, and her loyalty to Voight create significant emotional hurdles. As Lindsay becomes more embroiled in her personal life, her dedication to the job is tested, leading to consequences that culminate in a significant decision regarding her career. The season ends with Lindsay facing a critical crossroad that leaves her future with the intelligence unit in doubt, marking a dramatic shift in her trajectory. Simultaneously, other team members face personal and professional challenges that test their commitment to the job. Alvin Alinsky is devastated by the death of his daughter, which leaves him more emotionally withdrawn, while Antonio Dawson makes a career-defining decision to leave the intelligence unit and join the state attorney's office. Burgess navigates her transition into intelligence, while Ruzek's undercover work strains his relationship with the team. Throughout Season 4, the unit tackles intense cases that push them to their limits, including sniper attacks on officers, serial murders, and personal vendettas, all while dealing with their own internal conflicts. Let's get into the character arcs of Chicago PD Season 4. Our first character is Hank Voight. In Season 4, Voight continues to navigate the moral gray areas of his role as the head of the intelligence unit. His arc focuses on balancing his desire for justice with the potential for corruption, especially after the death of his son, Justin, at the end of Season 3. Voight wrestles with his vigilante-style justice while struggling to maintain the respect and loyalty of his team. This season also explores his relationship with Erin Lindsay as he takes on more of a father figure role. He continually faces the tension between protecting her and letting her make her own decisions. A dramatic moment for Hank Voight occurs in Episode 16, titled Emotional Proximity. In this episode, Voight is deeply affected by the tragedy involving Alvin Alinsky's daughter Lexi, who is critically injured and later dies in a fire set by an arsonist. Voight's intense emotions are on full display as he leads the investigation to find the person responsible. His determination to catch the culprit borders on obsession, and his moral lines blur as he becomes willing to take extreme measures to deliver justice for Alinsky and his family. This episode showcases Voight's fierce loyalty to his team and his tendency to pursue justice with an iron fist, regardless of the consequences. Our second character is Erin Lindsay. Lindsay's focuses on her complicated family dynamics and how they affect her professional life. With her mother, Bunny, re-entering her life, Erin is constantly pulled between her loyalty to Voight and her unresolved issues with her biological family. This season delves into her struggles with trust, particularly with the revelation about her father. Her loyalty to the intelligence unit is tested, especially in relation to Voight's unorthodox methods. By the end of the season, Erin faces significant consequences for her actions, leading to a critical career decision. A dramatic moment for Erin Lindsay happens in the finale, episode 23, titled Fork in the Road. In this episode, Lindsay faces a personal and professional crisis when her mother, Bunny, becomes the prime suspect in the murder of her boyfriend. Lindsay is torn between her duty as a police officer and her loyalty to her mother, who pleads for her help. As the investigation progresses, Lindsay finds herself under scrutiny from the review board, and her entire career is at risk due to her association with Bunny. The pressure mounts, and Lindsay ultimately confronts the choice of either protecting her mother or upholding the law, leaving her at a pivotal crossroads that could change her future in intelligence. Our third character is Jay Halstead. Halstead's arc primarily revolves around his relationship with Lindsay. While he is a steadying influence on her, his feelings for her become more apparent as the season progresses. The season also shows his struggles with PTSD from his military service, which begins to interfere with his work. His dedication to justice often places him in dangerous situations, particularly when he goes undercover to investigate various crimes. Halstead is also dealing with the complexities of his growing feelings for Lindsay and the difficulty of maintaining a work-life balance. A dramatic moment for Jay occurs in episode 13, titled, I Remember Her Now. In this episode, the intelligence unit investigates the murder of a 15-year-old girl, and Halstead goes undercover at a facility for troubled teens. During the investigation, Halstead becomes emotionally involved as he tries to uncover the truth about the girl's abuse and murder. The weight of the case deeply affects him as it hits close to home, particularly because of his military background and his protective nature. This emotional connection drives Halstead to push the limits during the undercover operation, highlighting his deep sense of justice and personal investment in protecting the vulnerable. Our fourth character is Kim Burgess. Burgess's arc sees her transition from a patrol officer to joining the intelligence unit. This promotion comes with its own set of challenges, particularly her relationship with Alvin Alinsky, who initially doubts her capabilities. Burgess's determination to prove herself to her new team is a central theme throughout the season. She deals with personal losses, including her split from Ruzek, and is forced to strike a balance between her personal and professional life. A dramatic moment for Kim Burgess occurs in episode 12, titled Sanctuary. In this episode, the intelligence unit investigates the murder of a jogger, and the suspects take refuge in a church, leading to a tense standoff. During the operation, Burgess proves her value to the team when she saves Alvin Alinsky's life during a critical moment. This event is a turning point in her transition into the intelligence unit, as she earns Alinsky's respect after initially clashing with him. Her quick thinking and bravery under pressure solidify her place in the team and highlight her determination to prove herself in her new role. Our fifth character is Adam Ruzek. Ruzek's arc is marked by his undercover work throughout the season. After briefly leaving the unit for an undercover assignment, he returns to find that things have changed, especially with his relationship with Burgess. Ruzek grapples with his feelings for her while trying to reintegrate himself into the team. His undercover work tests his loyalty and puts him at odds with some of his colleagues, but Ruzek remains a dedicated member of the unit. A key moment for Adam Ruzek occurs in episode 9, titled Don't Bury This Case. After returning from his undercover assignment, Ruzek experiences tension with the team, especially with the presence of his temporary replacement, Kenny Rixton. Ruzek struggles with the uncertainty of his role within the unit, feeling the pressure to re-establish his position and loyalty. His reintegration is complicated by personal issues, particularly his strained relationship with Burgess, which adds emotional weight to his return and professional challenges. The sixth character is Kevin Atwater. Atwater's arc focuses on his responsibilities, both as a police officer and as the guardian of his younger siblings. He continues to be the moral center of the team, often providing a more compassionate perspective on cases. This season also highlights his personal aspirations, particularly in a lighthearted subplot where he tries his hand at stand-up comedy, contrasting with the often serious and dangerous nature of his job. A dramatic moment for Kevin Atwater occurs in episode 4, titled Big Friends, Big Enemies. In this episode, Atwater is thrust into the spotlight when a gang war erupts, and his younger brother Jordan is caught in the middle, hanging out with some questionable individuals. Atwater, deeply protective of his family, steps in to shield his brother, confronting the dangers of Jordan's association with gang members. This episode highlights Atwater's internal conflict as he struggles to balance his role as a police officer with his responsibilities as a brother, especially as he tries to guide Jordan away from a potentially dangerous path. The seventh character is Alvin Alinsky. Alinsky's arc is deeply personal and tragic. His primary storyline revolves around his strained relationship with his daughter Lexi, which takes a devastating turn. It affects Alinsky and shapes his character's emotional trajectory for the rest of the season. He becomes more withdrawn and hardened, struggling to reconcile his personal tragedy with his commitment to the job. A dramatic moment for Alvin Alinsky occurs in episode 16, titled Emotional Proximity. In this heart-wrenching episode, Alinsky's daughter, Lexi, is critically injured in a warehouse fire started by an arsonist. Despite the team's efforts, Lexi tragically succumbs to her injuries, leaving Alinsky devastated. This moment is one of the most emotional in the entire season, as Alinsky struggles with overwhelming grief and guilt, and it pushes him to the edge. His pain drives him to seek revenge, and he wrestles with whether to take justice into his own hands, showcasing a dramatic shift in his normally stoic and controlled demeanor. Our eighth character is Antonio Dawson. Antonio's arc focuses on his career progression and personal life. Early in the season, Antonio is offered a position as the lead investigator in the state attorney's office by Peter Stone of Chicago Justice. This opportunity creates tension within the intelligence unit as Antonio considers leaving the team for this new position. Meanwhile, Antonio's relationship with his family, especially his children, is a recurring theme. His split from his ex-wife Laura complicates things as he balances his career ambitions with his responsibilities as a father. A dramatic moment for Antonio Dawson happens in episode 8, titled A Shot Heard Around the World. In this episode, Antonio is faced with a career-changing decision when he is offered a position as the lead investigator at the state attorney's office by Peter Stone. This opportunity forces Antonio to weigh his loyalty to the intelligence unit against the potential for career advancement. The episode culminates in Antonio making the difficult decision to leave the unit, which causes tension among his teammates, especially Voight, who has relied on Antonio's steady presence. His departure marks a pivotal moment in the season, as it sets up his transition to Chicago Justice and creates a shift in the dynamics of the intelligence unit. Our ninth character is Trudy Platt. Trudy continues to serve as the desk sergeant at District 21, where she often provides comic relief while also playing a crucial support role for the intelligence unit. Her arc is more emotionally charged than usual, particularly in episode 13, I Remember Her Now. Platt feels deeply guilty when a murdered girl is identified as someone who had come to her for help at the precinct, and she struggles with the weight of not remembering the young woman. This event serves as a reminder of how much Platt cares about the people she helps, even when her role keeps her behind the desk. A dramatic moment for Trudy Platt occurs in episode 3, titled All Cylinders Firing. In this episode, Platt is brutally attacked, along with her father, Robert Platt, by a man seeking revenge for an old grievance. While Platt survives the assault, her father does not, and this devastating loss leaves her shattered. The scene where Platt finds her father gravely injured is one of the most emotional moments for her character, as she must come to terms with his death while grappling with her own injuries. This event not only impacts her personally, but also fuels her determination to seek justice for her father, showcasing her resilience and strength in the face of overwhelming grief. An honorable mention cast member for this season is the introduction of Detective Haley Upton in episode 21, Fagin, as a detective temporarily assigned to intelligence during Burgess's absence. Upton's character arc begins with her earning Voight's trust through her no-nonsense approach and dedication to solving the case involving a group of teenage bank robbers. Her backstory reveals that she became a detective after spending a year undercover, showing her experience and resilience in high-stress situations. A dramatic moment for Upton occurs in this same episode when Voight offers her a permanent spot in intelligence after she demonstrates her ability to work well under pressure and provide valuable insight. This decision marks the beginning of Upton's integration into the team, showcasing her skills, especially in high-stakes situations, and setting the stage for her growing role in future seasons. Season 4 was a turning point for me, transforming Chicago PD from just another procedural cop show into a gripping exploration of the emotional toll the job takes on those who serve. This season delved deeper into the personal growth of the characters, giving us more insight into how they juggle their personal lives with the demanding cases they face. It kept me hooked as I watched each character struggle to find the right balance, knowing that this foundation was crucial for what lies ahead in the series. This season was emotional for me to watch the loss of Alinsky's daughter and how he handled it throughout the rest of the season. I was sad to see Erin leave the show, as it was hard to get used to the changes in the upcoming seasons without her. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my playlist for more videos. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new content. Your support means everything to me and helps me keep creating.